Hi, my name is Cori Rivers. Cori works for me. One maybe unique thing about me is that I'm a special hockey mom. I don't mean that I'm special, but the hockey practices that I watch every week for 6 months out of the year are special hockey practices. That means all the players have cognitive challenges. So it's hockey, but we parents and caretakers tend to cheer loudly for both sides. You can imagine that face-offs, where players have 5-second processing delays, are pretty different than typical hockey. Another thing about me is, you can see on my walls, lots of paintings. So maybe those two things help pick me out of the lineup. What I'd like to get out of this class? Well, I'd like to learn a more rigorous way to define human interfaces. I feel like this is often a problem area in programs I've worked on, but I don't see that we, in my job, are making progress in understanding and specifying them, or for that matter, doing anything beyond trying to brute force our way through aligning customer requests, schedule and cost demands, and old engineering practices from times where interfaces were knobs and switches. I'd like to bring some new ideas into my workplace. I started on this looking at the Blackboard assignment. Now I see that Google Docs is a little bit different, but I'll go along on the path that I chose to start with, the 10 Faces of Innovation. And maybe that tells you a little bit about me and what I want to get out of this class anyway. Looking at the 10 Faces of Innovation, I think I feel the most commonality with what Kelly calls the cross-pollinator. There are very few topics that I'm not interested in learning about as long as I can find thoughtful and complex analyses about them. He mentions thinking in metaphors. At work, I often find myself countering a sports metaphor with a music metaphor. For example, I tell design teams that we need to work together like an orchestra to make complex ideas and products accessible to our customer, that it's not about short-term competition with a rival company, like a sports metaphor, but about a long-term goal of consistent performance that keeps customers coming back, like getting people to purchase season tickets for the local orchestra, the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. I'm interested in widening my viewpoint, and that's what led me to selecting human systems engineering as my area of focus in my systems engineering master's program. This is not at all like the courses I took to get my electrical engineering bachelor's degree so long ago. I'm interested in seeing the intersection of psychology and engineering, which feels a lot like cross-pollination to me, and why I chose that description.